Oh, that beer at the end looked tasty. Thank God it's Friday. It's Chris, your favorite host, your favorite coach, all things favorite. Before that, I was your favorite team leader. Before that, I was your favorite real estate agent. And if you don't have something and you need a favorite, let it be me. And here's where I talk to my favorite people, Conversations with Chris. And we have one of my favorite people, Gloria Schmidt, up there in Bayside, Queens, rocking and rolling, absolutely crushing it, leading the first Keller Williams office ever launched within the 5 boroughs of New York City. So, yay, Gloria! I just got to tell you before we start, I'm just, coming from Keller Williams myself. It's a company I hold close to my heart, and I really appreciate all the positive feedback I'm getting back from people over what you're doing up there, because that's not what's happening around the country. Sometimes, you get people with their negativity about like changes that are happening in the company they're in, and people are very hearing good things about you, which is awesome. So I thank you for that.
Well, I thank you. That's nice to hear. I'm glad they're telling you.
Yeah, and that's what I always tell people. Do they know? Because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't know, or sometimes it's when you're not part of it anymore. It's after you leave somewhere that people let you know how great you are. And I know you came from another leadership position in another company. That happens all the time. It's like, tell the people you love them while they're still alive. Tell the people that you appreciate that you're working with while they're there. So that's I hope they start to tell you more.
Well, I appreciate you. I can tell you, when you were a team leader, I learned a heck of a lot, prepared me for the unknown of being a team leader at Keller Williams. So
I appreciate that. Well, you had all the ingredients. So thanks, you locked right into that. And one of the things, I really started to learn the numbers from Mike Bastian, and I wish I would have known the things that I learned as a team leader, as an agent. And I was so passionate about sharing it back. And that is, you're a numbers wizard. And for me, I got this stuff and it was boom. So many things opened up, and you were one of the only people I could show it to. And you said, oh yeah, that makes sense. Of course. So tell us about your story, kind of going through your process, how you ended up where you are.
Well, first you asked me what my superpower was, and I told you I was a numbers nerd.
Yes.
Have been my entire life. Past life, well, I have a master's in finance and business management. Was in the construction industry for 20 years as a chief financial officer and vice president. Came to Keller Williams 12 years ago, again in a financial role. Numbers tell a story.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent, they tell a story. And people need to know that, because when there's negativity on the news and you focus on what other people are telling you and you don't do your own due diligence, that's the first thing we got to change, right?
That's right. Yeah. Don't let people should on you. And that's a great thing. And the numbers do tell a story, and it also takes the emotion out of things. And I know a lot of times, and I work with a lot of small businesses, and I took all these principles outside of the real estate world. I can't tell you how many small businesses, one of the first things I do, let's do an organizational audit. Let's look at your P&L. Well, they have no idea how much money's coming in, how much money's going out, where it is. And quite often they're able to create more efficiency, save money, make more money, get time back just by looking at that stuff. So tell us a little bit about that. Now you're in a CEO position, and you came from like the CFO position. So you're definitely looking at it through a keen lens. And tell us a little bit about that process.
Well, this is the time of year, you were a team leader, that we do business planning clinics.
Sure.
And I think most agents, their biggest mistake when they first start out is they arbitrarily throw a number out there about how much money they want to make.
I want to make $100,000. Where'd you get that from?
And there's no reasoning behind it. So actually sitting down and getting them to figure out how much money they spend on their business, what they need to live their life by design, how much profit they want to make. I can tell them what the model is, but you want to make 50% profit, we got to work a little harder, right?
Sure.
And smarter. So my thing is making sure they understand those numbers and how to back that into their business, having a plan of action, focusing on the numbers every single day, every single week, every single month, every single quarter, and hitting the numbers.
Yeah. So the business plan, it starts off, we kind of look at the macro and the micro because everyone knows how much they want to make each year. We got that 5-year, 3-year, 1-year plan. It's like, how much money do you want to make this year? And then we make that distinction between lead measures and lag measures. I would say, what was it? What the book, it was a Stephen Covey book. Chris McChesney wrote the book. It's that's how I'm getting old. I forget it, but it's about the distinction between lead measures and lag measures. Lag measures are numbers that we hit once we get there, but the lead measures are really what we need to focus on. So the numbers, as they get closer to us, what do I have to do this week in order to lead to my ultimate lag measure goal? And so do you help people break all that down and identify those actions and the things they need to do?
I help them break it down. I mean, the market has changed a little bit. If you were making 50 calls a day before, you need to be making more calls. Sure. Analyzing your conversion rates for every call I make. Do I get a hang up or do I talk to a person? If you are getting an appointment, are you actually getting a listing or a buyer consultation out of it? So really getting them to understand their numbers, know their conversion rates, and then we can sit down and come up with a plan. How many do you have to have a month? How many you have to have a week? How many you have to have a day to hit your goals? I mean, it's numbers driven, and it's relationship driven. Master those two things, you're a rock star.
That's right. Yeah, I just do it over and over again. It's like people, I always, after these business plans, because when I do these business planning clinics, you got all these numbers and pages of stuff. And then I say the most important number on all this, pick one thing, is how many appointments do I have to go on a week? How many people do I have to be face to face with that can make a decision to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? And that's it. And if you just focus on that, measure, adjust, make adjustments as you move forward to see what's better, and then watch your conversion ratios, that's all you really need to do. And I think we overcomplicate it. Now in the era of technology and AI, 60% of the talks I'm going out there doing now are on AI. I kid you not. And you're probably experiencing that too.
Oh yeah.
People get lost in all this stuff, and then they forget to do the thing, right? So it's what's the market looking like up there now in Queens? I know I was in Albany the day before yesterday. And then I said, from the front of the room, I was giving a keynote. I said, everybody make a sound that represents the market you're in right now. And I heard, oh, wow, like all these. And it's so, are you guys experiencing that in Queens too?
Well, you know what? If you're looking generic over the last 5 years or 3 years, yes, the number of listings are down, but I don't focus on whether they're down or not. I focus on the fact that there's still listings.
Sure.
Right? Numbers, like looking at a lens of missed opportunity. If you know that Queens is on average taking over 2,000 listings every month, and you, Chris Abazzi's, only took 1 out of 2,000, is it a market problem or a Chris Abazzi's problem?
I love that, man. It's so that's hammer, man. No velvet hammer for you. Just like, hey, look, are you doing the things you need to do? And that's so true. Because I think in every market, there is an opportunity. And I tell all my clients, I'm like, well, ask yourself, because I've been through a lot of markets. I mean, I've been in the business since 2001. And millionaires are made in down markets when everyone else is complaining. And that can be real estate investors, real estate agents. And it's what opportunity exists right now in this market that I could take advantage of. And so I remember when the market tanked back when I was in the business, when I was at Remax, and everybody was like, nobody could take listings. It wasn't about price anymore. But I was service driven, and my business blew up because people were in a rough place, these short sales, and they wanted somebody that could sit with them and say, let's see if we can help you save your house. And if not, we can get it sold for you. And that really exploded my listing business. And those same agents that wouldn't let me into their listings when the market was hot were saying, hey, Chris, I'll take you out to dinner if you bring somebody to see my listing. Oh, how your tune has changed. So it's a tale of all these markets. And you came in 12 years ago. I guess it's always kind of been considered a good market, right? Since then. I remember when we opened up Jackson Heights, it was like, people like, you guys are crazy. Everyone's leaving the business. And here you guys are launching a 5,000 square foot office to fill. Good luck. That's what I heard a lot of. Good luck. And I think it worked out. We did okay over there, and it's still rocking and rolling. So are you feeling as a leadership in an office, or as an office leader, are you feeling agents kind of taking advantage of the opportunity, or almost feeling like they might get nudged out of this business?
No, I feel like they're taking advantage of the opportunity.
Great.
Getting them to understand that you got to get the noise out of your head, right? Do you believe in yourself? I do. Even as a team leader now 4 years, quite honestly, people are like, she's all about numbers. How is she going to coach people, train people? Well, guess what? I believed in myself. More importantly, Lou believed in me.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in yourself? Yes. Okay. So let's sit down and figure out the things that you're great at and how you can get that message out, and let's get you some business. I mean, for me, it's if you believe you can do it, you could do it. Like mindset is everything.
Yeah.
So
a lot of what we're doing is teaching people how to think, or think in a different direction, or think differently. And it's, I get, so Lou believed in you. And that's great. Cause the same thing for me. I remember for me, it was like, I'm 29 years old. How am I going to help? My best year in real estate, I did 28 transaction sides, was by myself, never built a team. And now all of a sudden, how am I going to attract people and be able to help them grow their business? And I became really good at that. And I learned that, and I was able to help a lot of people. And I thank Lou for being able to see that in me. And and back then, you were all about the numbers. People would say, Chris isn't that serious. You know what I mean? He likes long lunches. He's all about a good time. And I am absolutely 100%. But I was able to kind of weave that into what I do. And it worked out. So do you find that the agents that are really attracted to being in business with you, like the ones that are staying with you and the ones that are coming in that you're recruiting from other places, that they appreciate you for that?
I do, because you know what? I am not a 9 to 5 girl. I think you already knew that.
Sure.
I'm more a 6:30 a.m. till whenever you need me kind of girl.
Yeah.
When you make yourself available to people and you make it about them, okay, it's not about me, success through others. I love that. When you make it about people and you're supportive for their needs, whatever that is, they're going to stick with you.
Yeah.
They're going to stick with you. And I've seen it time and time again, agents that came here maybe because their business down, and now all of a sudden it's back on track and growing. They're looking to form teams. They're looking to expand into other areas. It's got to be about them.
Yeah.
And I do make myself available to all agents, not just the top agents. I know that's not necessarily a Keller thing. But if I think that you're going to be the next rock star, then you deserve as much of my time as anyone else. So, and I have a great team. I have a great team. I have to say that I've surrounded myself with people that are invested in other people's success. We walk around with T-shirts that say changing lives. That's what we do. I changed my title 2 years ago from team leader to chief people developer.
That's right.
Because that's what I do.
Yeah. And that is how you do it. And it's, I love that, because a big complaint that you hear from Keller Williams agents, even when I was an agent, agents be like, oh man, that team leader was my best friend until they recruited me, and now they're behind closed doors and I can never have access to them. And I said, when I become a team leader, I don't want people to say that about me. And I remember when Mike Bastian, when the growth initiative was happening, I don't know what's happening now, but 40 appointments a week. And then Mike Bastian said, Chris, you only got 40 appointments a month, right? Mike was like, oh, you only got 33 appointments this month. What's going on? What are you saying yes to that's making you say no to 40 appointments a month? And I said, I'm saying yes to knowing what my agents did on the weekends, knowing what they do beyond real estate, knowing what their goals and their dreams are, shaking hands, kissing babies. That's why I never lost a capper while I was there. And he said, and I'm thinking like, oh, he's going to love this. But my coach, in typical Mike Bastian fashion, said, Chris, consider you can have both of these things. And then that caused me, like you said, the great team. Well, how can I leverage myself so that I can now still have 40 appointments? I can have 40 appointments and still be able to do all the things I want to do with my agents. And that's when I started doing group sessions and leveraging my assistant team leader, Rabia and other people I had in the office. And that was such a good thing. And thank goodness we were surrounded by people that showed us these things, saw that potential in us and gave us that opportunity. But that's like, I think for when I used to talk to people about the numbers, hey, I just want to let you know you're outperforming the MLS by 11%. Congratulations. But I'm sure your broker already told, well, nobody's talking to them about these things. Really old things. How'd you know that? yeah, you're doing great. But by the way, our office is outperforming the MLS by 37%. So you're curious to know what we're doing over here. And then they come visit and they see all the agents talking about the numbers. So are you kind of creating a culture where people are business minded, having these numbers conversations that goes beyond you?
Absolutely. I mean, Keller Williams model, having team meetings.
Mhm.
Our team meetings, actually, we spend 10 minutes digging into those numbers,
Yeah.
so that they can explain it in a way that they don't sound as numbers nerdy as I do, right?
Yep.
Not just the numbers, okay, but also their stories, right? If you teach an agent how to look at their production in terms of everyone else, look at their stats, days on market, percentage of sale, all of that, in terms of other people, they walk into appointments so well versed in the conversation. It's like, okay, sign here,
Yeah.
because they know their numbers. So yes, I spend a lot of time, every team meeting, we cover that for at least 10 minutes, just so that, what you focus on expands. It's constantly reiterating it.
Yeah.
And the team here, we pull the numbers for them every 2 weeks. We pull it. They all get the numbers. Every team member can coach on the numbers. That's important too. So yeah.
And being able to know what do those numbers mean to people. That's the thing. It's like we used to do them in a team meeting too. Hey, listings. Here's listings. Here's close. Here's volume. Here's median sale price. What's that mean to someone out there in the world, a client or customer? I mean, when I got into the business, you heard real estate trainers say things like, "Oh, when somebody asks you, oh, you're in real estate. How's the market?" You always respond with, "Well, it's always a good time to buy or sell real estate," which is not true. It depends on who you are. But what I can tell you is, here's what the numbers say. And those numbers might mean something different depending on what position you're in. And there's no one size fits all answer. And also, new agents, I had new agents, I think I need to get fancier suits, or I need to get a new car. Why? Because people ask me how long I've been in the business. Well, if you learn how to talk about the numbers very effectively, nobody's ever going to ask you that question. And I really think that it's how we communicate with people and how they perceive us that's going to prevent them from asking how long we've been in the business. You can have an agent that's been in the business a month that knows those numbers like the back of their hand. They're not going to get that question. So it's having the confidence to be able to present that stuff and interpret what it means to people. But thank you for doing that. That's great. That's right.
You got to be prepared. That it's about the preparation.
That's right. That's right. So what's coming up for you? What's next for Gloria? What's next for your office, your market center?
Oh, wow. Well, we just, we did our growth plan and our 411 for next year, where we want to head. Obviously, continuing changing lives is definitely here for Gloria.
That's right.
Personally, planning a wedding. My baby girl is going to be getting married in about a year and a half. Lots of great things going on in my world. But for the office, literally just focusing on what I want to see happen next year, not just numbers, but just relationships. I mean, we've already got until December of next year, we've got our events planned out. We are a people company. So I want to be your friend. I want you to see me as your mom. I want you to tell me what your challenges are, and I definitely want to help you.
That's right. Yeah. And and you walk the walk and talk the talk. I just gave a talk on the art of authenticity and how there's two different dimensions to authenticity. There's one, being true to your own self. And then number two, the other second dimension is being what you say you are to other people. And this first showed up in the play Hamlet, where Polonius, the most inauthentic character in all of Hamlet, said, be true to thine own self and then be true to others, which is interesting. So when you think of those two dimensions, when you both are who you say you are to yourself, and you show up that way to other people, and you are what you say you are, the sky is the limit. And I appreciate you for being one of those people. It's a weird business. You don't always meet people that are like, I mean, I was surrounded by a lot of people that are one way to you or other people, and then they're the different way to that person. I can't stand these people. Oh, hi. That's not a cool way to be. And I appreciate you for not being that. It's like, hey, well, it's sometimes it backfires on you being authentic, right? But in the end, it'll never come back void. So that's a great thing that you're out there. You're saying, hey, I want to help people. And then people know that, people see that you are helping them. Nobody can ever say anything bad about you, right? That's an amazing thing.
I think so. I mean, I talk to agents from other brokers every day.
That's right.
And most tell me, I've only heard really nice things about you. And I'd say, well, I hope so, because I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
And I really just want to help people. I mean, that's really what I want to do. I want to change your life for the better.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what I say. People always say, like, when you talk about the big why and everything, and I realized, I'm like, I just want to make people's lives a little bit better as a result of have meeting me. And if that's to be their coach, or if that's just to tell them something funny while we're waiting online at the grocery store, that's all me fulfilling my purpose in different capacities. And I know you're the same way also. So in that vein of wanting to help people, if there's like one piece of really powerful advice you had for your community, real estate agents, new or seasoned, what would that be?
Shut off the news. Stop listening to what you're hearing on the news. Do your own homework. Do the activities, right? I don't care if you're part-time, full-time, do the activities. Find a time that works for you. Get out there. Don't be a secret agent. Tell them you're passionate about real estate. Follow up. Be learning-based. And really just reach out to somebody who could help you with or without your company. If they're a good person, you don't have to be with Keller, and they're going to answer your questions and help you.
Yeah.
So just really shut off the TV, be prepared, and do your thing.
I love that. Yeah, and I don't even have the news. People tell me, hey, you see what's happening? It's terrible. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't watch the news. I don't see anything. So I don't know. I myself am buying. People are like, oh man, interest rates are so high. I just bought 2 properties with 4% owner financing. Well, one with 4%, one with 5%. People are like, how'd you do that? And I'm like, you ask. And it's funny because even agents are so, you tell them, hey, we like these 5 properties, make this offer with owner finance. You get some agents, you start talking to them about it, and they're just shaking their head. The owner's never going to go for that. Present the offer and then get back to me. So present the offer. If they say no, they say no. And then the agents come back to me, I can't believe they're going to take it. And I'm like, yeah, if you would have known this earlier, maybe you would have thrown a net out there with this strategy and you would have got more buyers than yourself. But you don't know that because you're not in my coaching program or another coaching program that tells you about these things. So that's awesome. I thank you for sharing with us today. Is there anything that I'm not asking you that I should be asking you that you want to share here? And then we'll let you get back there. And by the way, Gloria is looking for some top agents, some brand new agents. She's got a lot of stuff to give. Her organization is wonderful. I came from it. And if you want to get in touch with Gloria, you could reach out to me. We're easy. We're out there on social media. We're really easy to get to. But is there anything I'm not asking you that you want to share with everybody?
Just, you know what? Like I said, it's goal time. Let's remember everything we're doing right now. I don't care what business you're in, affects how successful you are next year. I got like large goals for 2024. Start now, plan ahead. Don't wait until January 2nd to get started.
Well, yeah, that sounds like me, a procrastinator. And these goals should excite you now, right? So if you it's like planning a vacation that makes you happy now. Everything that you do is about right now, even though you're not there yet. Have something to look forward to and be excited about it, man. Love life and do it. Be present.
Love that. I love life. Are you kidding? Life is good.
I know you do. You're a good time. And it's I got to visit you when I'm up there again. I was up in New York City in July, and while I was up there, my speaking engagement got canceled, which is, I feel bad when people pay me in full and then I'm there and then they move it and then I can't do it. But
you should have called me. July? Are you kidding? The Schmidt household is hopping with the in-ground pool and hot tub.
I know. I stayed in Manhattan. Well, I was coming from Westchester, so I went from Westchester to Smithtown, and it was pouring rain. I took the train to from Smithtown to Manhattan. I stayed in Morningside Heights. It was pretty rainy. I got to have dinner with Shamir. I did see a couple people while I was over there, and it was just it's in between eating as much pizza and bagels and halal food and dirty water dogs and all the good stuff that I missed. But I shall be returning soon. I think I got something coming up for Bond Realty up there or something like that. But I'll give you a heads up next time in advance. But you're still out in Long Island?
I am still out in Long Island. Hopefully, well, I'm never going to leave Long Island, but I am thinking about moving a little closer to the office now that my babies aren't babies.
I know I never imagined I would be living in Queens my adult life, and there I was in Queens my whole adult life. A new area, new people, and now here I am in Florida, which is great. I mean, I love it here. So come for a visit, and we'll see if you don't end up here someday when your babies are really grown.
Are you kidding? Sam's already talking about maybe an investment property in Florida, or at least a second home,
Yeah, as we got in this community, you can do short-term rentals, and it's on the ocean, which is nice because I had a place, it was on the ocean in Jupiter, beautiful. You can only rent it out once a year for a minimum of 90 days. So we're getting $6,500 a month for it, but I couldn't do short terms. But now I'm in a place I can do 7 nights, which is good. So it's there's a lot of opportunity down here, but prices are not as low as they used to be. So, but it's still not like it is in New York. I mean,
oh yeah,
you know how that goes. But thanks for visiting with us today. And once again, if you want to get in touch with myself or Gloria, we're easy to get in touch with. And thank you so much for joining. And again, I appreciate all the wonderful feedback that I'm getting. And I'll make sure next time I get that feedback, I'm going to hang up with the person and I'm going to send a group text to you and whoever's saying it. And I'm going to say, now tell her, because I know what it's like to not get that feedback until you're not around anymore.
Well, I appreciate you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Good. It's a mutual appreciation. So go knock them dead. Have a great rest of the year and to a wonderful next year. And we'll talk soon.
All right, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gloria. Bye.
Bye, all.
Bye.